So, Oga Hans, what is that one personal finance rule you think everyone should embrace? Now, without prejudice, the one personal finance rule I think everybody across the board should embrace is the savings rule. Savings is as important as anything you can imagine, with no prejudice. And this is not to say every other personal finance, rules are not important, but if you are not able to cultivate the savings culture, every other thing will be difficult for you to do. You can't invest if you don't save. All right, I'm going to tell you a story. So I used to know a guy called Frederick who used to work in the bank. He had been working in the bank for about 5 years. So there was a downtime in the industry and they had to lay off workers. And also the bank he was in wanted to merge with a different. So Frederick was among the workers that were laid off, made redundant at the time. Now, but while Frederick was still working in the bank, Frederick had this very compulsive savings culture. Like, Frederick would save at least 20% of everything he earned. He did this, consistently through the period when he got the job up until the time he was made redundant. Frederick was put out of job and Frederick stayed out of work for about 4 months without any major source of income. Frederick had to fall back to these monies he had been saving compulsively while he was working in the banking sector. And that money he had sustained him for about 5 months out of work until he got a new contract with another company where he presently worked. This is the reason why I'm telling you this story. If you do not cultivate a savings culture, you are putting your immediate future under some level of jeopardy, because anything could happen. You could have an employment gap. Something could happen to your job, which will ultimately affect your cash flow. It is what you have saved up in that emergency fund that will keep you afloat until you win or get another job. You could have an emergency. A family member could fall sick. You could even actually fall sick. Your car could break down. Something could just happen that will need you to immediately swing into action and solve that problem. If you do not have a sinking fund, if you don't have an emergency fund, you have saved up over the time, you will not be able to address those problems, and you immediately see yourself in a very precarious financial difficulty. This is the reason why I personally think the saving culture, the savings rule, is the number one personal finance rule every individual should take very seriously.